Welcome! In this video, we will explore the Common European Framework of Reference, also known as the CEFR, and its key principles in language teaching and learning. The Common European Framework of Reference, or CEFR, was elaborated to provide coherent and comprehensive guidelines for the design of syllabuses and learning materials, and to ensure unified assessment criteria for language examinations and certificates. It helps teachers and administrators make decisions related to context, objectives, outcomes, contents, resources and materials, and methodology. However, it is important to note that proficiency levels relate to learners' mastery of a foreign language, not their age. Also, the adaptation of course planning to legislation is not affected by the CEFR, and its main purpose is not motivation. The CEFR presents 6 proficiency levels: A1, Breakthrough; A2, Waystage B1; Threshold B2; Vantage C1; Effective Operational Proficiency C2; Mastery. These levels can be used to define the main elements of assessment, including assessment criteria. General competences in the CEFR include knowledge, skills, and know-how, existential competence, and the ability to learn. Communicative language competences are divided into 3 types: linguistic competence, lexical, grammatical, semantic, phonological, orthographic, and orthoepic sociolinguistic competence. Social identity, relationships, formality, and medium of expression. Pragmatic competence, flexibility, turn-taking, coherence, cohesion, fluency, and precision. Sociolinguistic competence focuses specifically on social identity, relationships between participants, formality of the setting, and medium of expression. There are 4 key aspects of the CEFR. The action-oriented approach. The learner as a social agent. Plurilingualism, mediation. These aspects are interrelated. Mediation is particularly important because it combines the other 3 types of activity. The CEFR defines 4 types of language activities: reception, production, interaction, mediation. Mediation includes several subtypes: mediating a text, such as explaining data, note-taking, or analyzing creative texts. Mediating concepts, such as facilitating group interaction. Mediating communication, such as acting as an intermediary between people with different linguistic and cultural backgrounds. When creating any activity, teachers should first consider the proficiency level of their students. For example, an activity based on mediation might involve note-taking about healthy habits and success, where students create an infographic. Students are not asked to memorize structures. Instead, they actively participate in communicative tasks that meet their needs, negotiate meaning through interaction, and take responsibility for their learning. Teachers focus on facilitating and monitoring the process and should provide adequate scaffolding. According to Richards, 2006, Part 13, the communicative approach requires rethinking classroom strategies. Its principles include making real communication the focus of learning, allowing learners to experiment and try what they know, being tolerant of errors, developing both accuracy and fluency, linking skills such as speaking, reading, and listening, encouraging learners to discover grammar rules. For instance, when students create a poster advertisement for a product of their choice, they are given the opportunity to experiment and be creative. Originally, the 4 macro skills were taught separately. Later, teaching shifted toward an integrated skills approach. Dictation is an example of integration, as it combines listening and writing. Watching a video involves listening by default, but teachers can integrate other skills if desired. Integrating skills makes activities closer to real-life situations, where multiple skills are used simultaneously. However, the choice of integration depends on learners' needs, and sometimes focusing on a single skill is appropriate. Age-related factors include neurological, cognitive, psychological, social, and educational aspects. Children are good at memorizing, can achieve near-native pronunciation, do not consciously aim for a specific accent, do not usually rely on their native language in class, are not particularly strong readers in early stages. They may have favorite actors, but lack enough knowledge to match names to faces. Activities like bingo can be adapted to any age group, but not every session needs to start with a game. Teachers should vary warm-up activities. Also, 7-year-olds do not yet have the cognitive maturity to present and support arguments or acknowledge opposing views. Learners' needs determine the type of activities teachers should propose. If a task does not relate to students' interests or personal experiences, they may struggle to understand its concepts, vocabulary, and ideas. CEFR illustrative descriptors can be used to relate learning aims to real-world language use, provide clear guidance to learners and stakeholders, help negotiate learning priorities, suggest classroom tasks, support criterion-referenced assessment. In conclusion, the CEFR provides a comprehensive framework that supports effective language teaching, meaningful communication, and learner-centered education. Thank you for watching.